2 wins on tour over your career, yet you haven't won since 2013 in Reno. But since then, 5 second-place finishes. How do you view that? Is it frustrating being that close, or do you view it as, hey, I'm putting myself in that spot?
Very frustrating. I have put myself in the spot, and even more than that, this year I've had a lot of chances on Sunday to really crack through, and I just haven't done it. But like I said, I'm excited about the way the game's going. I put a lot of work in with Butch this year, switching back to him. We've made some changes and doing some things that we tried to do 4 years ago when I was injured. I couldn't do it. I'm starting to see a trend of a lot more consistent golf coming, and I'm excited about what the future holds.
I know you grew up playing hoops, All-State High School, played in college. Where was that moment for you when you knew, all right, I got to focus more on golf than basketball because that's kind of where my future is?
Yeah, I mean, growing up around the University of Kansas, I mean, I grew up 30 miles away. You just always had that dream of playing big-time basketball. When I played my first game, when I played at Washburn, we played at Kansas. I'm guarding Kurt Heinrich. I realized quickly this was not the sport for me. I wasn't going to be able to do this after school. And I've always had a dream of playing professional sports since I was a little kid. So it was the time to make a change right away. I played 1 game of college basketball. I'm like, all right, I need to move. So I finished the year and then transferred to the University of Kansas. And it was the first time in my life I've ever dedicated to one sport. I played sports my whole life, multiple. So focus on one sport was pretty cool, and I think I made the right choice.
Yeah, I mean, let me touch on that. You bring something up. You played multiple sports up until that point in college. Yeah. You see a lot of parents raising their kids, young golfers even, where that's all they're doing. As a guy who's gone through it, would you recommend that families just play a lot of different sports rather than specialize?
There's no doubt about it. I mean, you see that. I think that's a big deal with kids. You learn so much more and especially in team sports. You know, you interact with kids, and you know, golf's such an individualized sport. It's hard to get that. It's hard to win all the time. Where in other sports, you can learn how to play when you're not playing well. Learn how to work with other people. There's so much more goes into playing team sports. I think it's huge. You know, people think about Tiger and how he did it playing one sport. Well, Tiger played track. Tiger did a lot of other things growing up people don't talk about. They just see how good he was at a young age, but he also did other sports as well.
You mentioned playing in Allen Fieldhouse. What's more pressure-packed? Playing there against the Jayhawks or lining up a putt to win a PGA Tour event?
I mean, any time to win, you know, there's a lot of pressure on that. Going in, because in the win you're expecting to make it, you're expecting to win. Going in, it was tough going in Allen Fieldhouse, knowing they were the #1 team in the country in Division I. We were #2 in Division II. We really didn't have a big chance. I mean, that's tough to do. But the excitement, the energy level is probably the same on both. The pressure is definitely more on making a putt, but the energy's just as good.
Speaking of hoops, you just took part in a cool event with Chris Paul out in LA, the Boys and Girls Club. Tell me about that and interacting with a guy like Paul, who's probably going to be an NBA Hall of Famer. Being a basketball guy, that must have been pretty sweet.
It was really sweet. I mean, he's an unbelievable guy, but he's probably more obsessed with golf than I am. And you can tell he wants to play golf every day. It was cool. CDW brought me out there. It was great to work with these kids in the inner city to give back to them, give them some technology, bring a little bit of golf into their lives, which was cool. And then to be around Chris Paul, one of the greatest players in the NBA right now, like you said, future Hall of Famer. It's pretty special. It's cool for me and something I'll remember.
How's your game right now, basketball-wise? Could you at least hang with him in a game of horse or one-on-one?
It was rusty, for sure. You know, when you don't shoot a basketball for a while, it's amazing how quickly it is. I shoot on the way down. Everything's short. Legs don't jump as much as they used to, but it's something, you give me a couple weeks, I think I get back there pretty close.
Along with working with kids, another project that's near and dear to your heart, I know Folds of Honor is very important to you. Sure. Tell me why that is and some of the work that you've done with that group.
Yeah, Major Dan got me involved. You know, Major Dan played golf at the University of Kansas, so I met him through Kansas. And he got me involved really in 2009 when I was a rookie. It's unbelievable to be around these men and women that serve our country. You know, freedom is not free. Everything that they do for us to come out here and live our dreams and you know, be free and be safe, to give back to them is unbelievable. These families, they don't really have a chance. You know, they're not supported as much as they should be. And so for us to have that opportunity to give back to them, it's something special and something I take a lot of pride in.